What's up? Howdy, fellas. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. What's going on, guys? So don't worry about all this stuff that you see in front of us. We're going to talk about airplanes today, too. But because I have it, I got to show this thing. What is going on tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing good. I got my line of Coke. KBRC, how you doing? So just doing a little roll call here. We got all kinds of folks here tonight. We've got, man, I'm going to go to the top of the list, which is probably a huge mistake. We got David yourself. We got Don Shack. We got Shadow Ops, RC, Mike SSI, David Snyder, Craig Beef, and Wild Bill, JT200 Driver, Ken Sprouse, Dennis Farley, Robert Ortleb, and Robert O, we will absolutely do a plug for our friend John. Jermaine Spencer, Michael Rajka, Pat Dylan Eisfelder, JCB67, Wild Bill, EQRC, hello sir. Jackson RC Aviation, my man, what is going on? We got some NASCAR action in yesterday. Nate, Nasty Nate. C Mafia, what's going on? Hangar 51, Mr. Kenny, good to see you tonight. We already got us a nice little crowd forming up in here. Hey, happy birthday to Jermaine's wife. If you hear me, happy birthday. If you don't, Jermaine's a bastard. Mr. George Watts, good to see you tonight. Thank you for stopping by tonight. KBRC. Oh, man. Victor Shamulus, good to see you. Paul McNeil. I'm just going down the list. There's so many. Randy. If I missed anybody, I apologize. They're just the list just keeps getting longer. Sorry, Jermaine. So, before we get started tonight, I wanted to share with you guys a big milestone for another channel. Man, we got weird stuff going on tonight. I don't know if you guys are seeing this where like the picture is doing funky things. Hold on. Let me change something. Something funky's happening. Let's see. I don't know if I can change this in the middle of a stream, but I'm sure gonna try. Oh, Nate, I was feeling pretty good. I can't lie, man. I was feeling pretty good. Those of y'all that missed the Zoom chat this weekend, y'all missed a good show. Oh, man, that was funny. Never miss the Zooms on Friday nights, fellas. You never know what you're going to get to see. Oh, that was funny. So, listen, guys, I wanted to do a big shout out for someone who I've talked to on many occasions. Great guy, has a great channel, and that's funny, Nate. I don't think I was in the zone. I don't even know if I was in the Zoom. So those of you guys that missed this, I think I did this on Tuesday night. Maybe it was Monday night. Maybe it was after Gooniac show on Monday night. I was like, man, screw it. I'm going live. We're going to make this thing work. Or maybe it was after Jeff's show. I can't remember. But I was like, man, we're going to change all this up. And we're going to do up this TX16S in the fancy new carbon fiber faceplate with the anodized red. Cool stuff. So this radio, as y'all know, if anyone's used one, y'all know that they're great. You know, one of the best radios on the market for those that are budget conscious, want to try out OpenTX. Fantastic radio. And, you know, the channel where I learned like everything I know about OpenTX is from a guy that some of y'all may be subscribed to, maybe some of y'all aren't. It's a guy named RC Video Reviews. He does fantastic tutorials. Like if y'all like the stuff that I did on the AR637T and the AR636, man, you will love the OpenTX tutorials over at RC Video Reviews. And I encourage y'all to go and check him out. He's like 50 subs, 40 subs, something like that away from hitting 10,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone here on YouTube. So if you haven't checked him out already, go check out our friend John at RC Video Reviews. He runs a fantastic channel, has great videos. He's doing a lot of great stuff for OpenTX. He's the big reason why I won't even touch making videos on OpenTX. And, you know, the same, like, when there's already somebody out there who's doing such a pro job, I mean, how can you mess with perfection, right? So, John does a great job over there. Be sure to go check him out. Give him a subscribe. Let's get that guy over 10K tonight. RC Video Reviews. And everybody here is a moderator for the most part. So if somebody could post the link for RC Video Reviews here in the chat for his channel, so everybody can head over there, give him a sub. Let's help our man out. Get over that 10K hump. That is a huge milestone for any of us that do RC YouTube. And like I said, it's a great channel. It's absolutely worth the watch. If you guys are even remotely interested in OpenTX, this guy knows way more than I do. That's for damn sure. JT200, good job, man. And Jeff in Lower Alabama, thank you guys. Thank you guys. So check out RC Video Reviews on YouTube. Subscribe. Check him out. Awesome channel. Let's get him over 10K. Look at that. I know Amy Marshall. I know her. Everybody say hello to my lovely wife, Amy. And thank all of y'all for going out and checking out John over at RC Video Reviews. I'm sure he will be very appreciative. And if we can get him over 10K, that would be awesome. He was thinking it was going to be like 2 more days. But if we can get him over the hump tonight, man, that would be awesome. Mr. Tuck Hill RC, it is good to see you tonight. Nice, Dennis. Nice. Dennis, I know you got like a whole gaggle of kids. Get all them to sub to our man John at RC Video Reviews too. Everybody should be subbed to RC Video Reviews. And the other thing that's really cool, RC Video Reviews actually runs a very active Discord server with a lot of different forums. I mean, it's set up like an old bulletin board system. He also has like live voice chats, video chats. He shares a lot of stuff. He'll jump in there. He's got a lot of good information about what's going on with the FAA. He's got a lot of great information about obviously OpenTX, a lot of great stuff about iNav and like long-range FPV flying. I mean, the guy's just got a wealth of information. It's absolutely worth the watch. Oh, Boss 223 had possum in So, Boss 223, the guy I'm shouting out tonight, is RC Video Reviews. He's very close to hitting 10K. Go check out his channel. Give him a subscribe. Let's get him over 10K. And let's help our man out. Great channel. Oh yeah, Pilot Jerry. I mean, if you've watched John's stuff, you'll know why he and I get along really well. He's also a former Navy veteran, like myself, like Pilot Ryan, and like several of our guests here in the chat once a week. John is also a Navy veteran, so go help our man out, get him over that 10K hump. Awesome. So, thank you to everybody who's here. Now let's talk about what we got sitting here in front of us. So we've got the Redcat Gen8v2, right? And the reason that I want to show you guys that, number one, look at this. This is not a small truck. This is a big mamba jamba. All right? And this is also one of the best deals going for an RC crawler, right? If you guys are even if you guys are even remotely thinking about maybe trying out Surface, man, this has to be one that I would just highly recommend. I've been playing with it over these past few days. Man, this thing is a blast. It is awesome. It's big, it's mighty. This thing can get over anything. There's a few flaws with it, and Pilot Ryan and I stayed up last night. Man, we, you know, like he and I bought a lot of the same stuff to do some upgrades on these to kind of get some of the I don't even want to call them weak points, just different, you know, performance aspects of this truck, kind of get them under control. And, you know, we added the Avian ESC, we added the light kit, or not the Avian ESC, the Firma 40 amp brushed ESC, because this is a brushed motor setup. And Big Go Bobby, I saw you. We're going to be shouting them out here in just a second. In fact, this whole dang stream is sponsored by our friends at Big Go Hobby. So thanks, Big Go Bobby, for stopping by tonight. If you guys want to pick up one of these here Redcat Gen8v2 trucks, y'all know where to go. Head on over to rcairmarshal.com and click on that BitGo link. And on BitGo, you can find the Redcat Gen8v2. They are in stock right now. They are $2.99, man. That is a great deal for the amount of truck you're getting. I would say that this thing is, for that price, it is better than the Axial SCX-10 II. It is on par with the Traxxas TRX-4, and with a couple of minor upgrades, it is highly competitive with the SCX-10 III from Axial, which comes in at a big whopping 500 bones, right? So the colors we got, Wild Bill, is crazy green and crazy purple. I don't know what the actual colors are, but you know, one of the things that you can't see here, and I've got an unboxing video that's going to be coming out either tonight or tomorrow after the show. And I mean, this green and the purple, they did a beautiful job with the paintwork on this thing. It is a metal fleck, like a excuse me, like a metallic green. It looks awesome. So I want to rip off the top here real quick. I still have the Velcro, but we're going to be updating that to magnets, so we can get that top off nice and easy. As y'all can see, I've got my Spectrum G2 Smart Pack in here with a Dean's adapter. It does have Dean's from the factory by default, but man, this thing is just a beast of a machine. It's got 4-link trailing link suspension, top and bottom, lots of reflex. You know, when I lift that thing up, I get about 5 inches of reflex before you watch that rear tire, before it starts lifting up. I mean, that's huge, man. This thing can crawl over like anything. It is a bad beast. I've been having so much fun with it. I know that a lot of us air guys, man, we're like, surface is for pansies, whatever. I'm never going to play with surface. If you've ever even considered it, this is one that you got to check out. The Redcat Gen8v2 rock crawler. You know, the thing that I love about crawlers in the world of surface vehicles is it doesn't matter. I mean, it almost doesn't matter what the weather's like. You know, like rain, snow, sleet, hail, tornadoes, it don't matter. You can send this thing out in anything. If the wind is too bad, you can get this thing out in your backyard. There is no obstacle that this thing can't crush. You're going out hiking, man, you take this with you. Take it on the trail. There's nothing that this thing can't get over. I mean, obviously it can't like climb up walls or nothing, but man, I've been very impressed with it so far. And it's just a lot of fun, and I'll tell you what, it hauls ass. For being what it is, I mean, this thing can move. It'll move faster than you can run, so don't think that it's just like all crawler and no performance. You know, if you get this thing on some slick pavement, you can do donuts with this thing. It is bad to the bone. So check it out. Now we're going to move right on into some airplane action, but if anybody has any questions for me about the crawler, ask them now, because we're about to put this thing, Barry Campbell, 5 inches around. So if anybody has any questions about this thing, go ahead and let's talk about it a little bit. If you got questions, I know that we got some other folks in here that are checking this thing out. You know, we've got BitGo Bobby, who's got a Gen8. Oh no. And so Randy, this is $2.99, ready to run. All you got to do is provide a battery, and it can run on 2 or 3 cell LiPo packs, or it can run on nickel metal hydride packs right out of the box. It also comes with the radio. The only thing that you need to provide is a LiPo battery, 4 AA's, and you are off to the races with the Redcat Gen8. $2.99 delivered. Everything put together. I have done absolutely nothing to this truck so far. I mean, it comes out of the box exactly like you see here. And this thing is just a big bouncing beast. Man, I love this. Nate, I might still be feeling it. So it's $2.99. I may put my sticker on the hood. You know, I've thought about doing a lot of things with this truck to kind of accent the lines and stuff. You know, I may put like a flat black on the top and on the hood, and maybe do a racing stripe or something, but I really don't want to mess up this beautiful paint job, man. If you could only see it in person, you would understand what I mean. This has got a stunning paint job, and you kind of got to get up on it and look at it in the right light, you know, to really see that paintwork that they've done here, but it is really nice. All right, so enough about trucks. I know that everybody watches this show to talk about airplanes, and y'all know that I'm not gonna hold out on you. So anyway, big old trucks, get one. And heck yeah, I got my pajama pants on. Oh no. I broke it. What? All right. All right, fellas. Y'all know I ain't gonna hold out. We're gonna do more than just trucks today. I just want to give a quick shout out to the Gen8v2 because it's so nice. I think everybody deserves a Gen8v2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mr. Taghill, what's up? Thank you, sir. Look what else we got. This is the Dynam Grand Cruiser. Now, I know that the Dynam Grand Cruiser is an older model, but this is the new Dynam Grand Cruiser. And we're going to check it out right now. Oh, I think it might be, Randy. We're going to check it out. Let's lower this box. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Shadow. I'm trying not to think about all that. Nate, shut your mouth. If y'all want a Grand Cruiser, y'all know what to do. This is the all-new fancy version of the Dynam Grand Cruiser, available from our good friends at BitGo Hobby. George Watts, that's true. I mean, nobody that flies RC is a spring chicken except for like a few of us. So I'm trying to be, you know, kind of responsible with my unboxing here. All right, so let's see, what do we have inside here? I haven't opened it up yet, fellas. This is my first time opening the box. So I want to see what we got in here. Now, I've been told that we have us a little something special going on inside this box. So that makes me feel like we might indeed have the new, and I don't know if it's a V2, a V3, what the case is. But we're about to find out right now. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh, let's see what we got in the box. What do we have inside the box? I'm looking at the screen so I see it at the same time you guys do. Oh yeah, we got the new one. Red and silver. Red and silver. Oh, look at that. Nice. That's a good looking airplane. It's a good looking airplane. All right, that's nice. Oh, we got some retracts in here. So this doesn't have the upgraded retracts yet. It doesn't have like the metal, you know, like the new Dynam Hawker Hunter has the retracts with the metal trunnions. But I'll tell you, those retracts with the metal trunnions as a replacement part have hit the street. I was up at our friends at Grayson Hobby not too long ago, last week, and at Grayson Hobby they had a couple of sets. I think they had 3 sets of the new Dynam retracts with the blue anodized metal trunnions. So those are out and available now for people that are interested in them. I'm not sure if they got them at BitGo. I assume that they do. We just, you know, gotta get that website updated. Paul McNeil, this is a 3S airplane. All right, let's see. So here we got some horizontal stab. We got a vertical stab in the bag. We got our tip tanks for the wings. I mean, everything is still in like a cardboard box, you know, because that's what Dynam does, y'all. Yeah, just the tip tanks. So I'll tell you, Boss 223, I hear that a lot, and that's unfortunate. We actually have quite a few really good air hobby stores here in the Atlanta area, so you know, we're very fortunate to have that. All right, so in this little bag of goodies, typical of Dynam, we've got a couple of things of glue. We've got an antenna. We've got a couple of silver spinners. We got quite a few Y connectors. It looks like 3 Y connectors, and at least 1 light controller, maybe more. And what's nice is it looks like the little glue tubes haven't exploded yet. So my last few Dynam packages, the little tubes of glue had exploded and like got all over it and glued all the screws together. You know, so you're sitting there like picking all the glue off the screws one by one. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But luckily, in this package, the glue has not exploded and our screws are all free. All right, we also get a couple of propellers. These look to be the same propellers that the C47 comes with. These are, I mean, they're pretty small. It doesn't have a size on them. But they're not very big, right? And they are set up for counter rotating. So they are counter rotating props, which is nice. 2 3-bladed propellers for the counter rotating action. And I have to assume that what we have in this final part of the box is the wang. That's Fred Barron. That's not a bad idea right there. So this has to be the wang. Oh man. Now here's something else that I admittedly kind of enjoy about these Dynam kits. Man, putting that there like gave us a cool shadowing. Like that looks all cinematic and stuff. So we got our instruction manual. This one has 18 pictures instead of 4, so we're already doing better than we did on the PT-17. Alright, but like I was saying, one of my guilty pleasures with Dynam planes is getting to install the decals. Now, who can tell me what the problem is with these here decals? Can y'all tell? Can you guys tell what the problem is with these decals? These decals are for the white and blue airplane. Bobby. Oh, sorry. It was upside down. It was upside down, and it's for the old airplane. They didn't put the decal set in here for the red airplane. Which, that's kind of cool, because now I can do custom graphics. Alright, let's open up this here box and pull out our wang. Because y'all know Nothing gives me more pleasure than pulling my wang out. All right. So we got that open. Oh man, this wang is fat. PHAT. Oh, it's got those big nacelles on it too. Yes, yes. All right. Very nice, very nice. So we've got all that action happening. We've got the retracts, flaps, ailerons. We've already got our tip tanks. Man, this is good looking. This is a good looking plane, y'all. Check out the wangs. All right. So, I mean, I'm no Bobby the Builder, but I think I might give it a shot here. This looks like it might be easy enough to just give it a go, to let it give it a whirl, man. See if we can't get this thing put together. Let me touch it. Oh man. So yeah, it looks like it has, you know, like the same power system that the C47 has, but it's a little bit like smaller plane. You know, it's not pushing around as much girth. It's more aerodynamic. So I think it's actually going to perform better than the C47 does. Because, I mean, for those of you guys that have flown the C47, you know that it's a very scale flyer. Right? It takes a lot of rudder. It doesn't really have good speed, but it looks great in the air. It's got awesome air presence. So, wow, Bill, yes. It does have wang tips. It's all about the wang tonight, man. This is Chinese. Sorry, I gotta get these bags all up and out the way. Oh man, all right. So that's that big old bag out the way. We'll sit this down where that fuselage is. Oh. Oh, come on, man. There's a lot of overspray on the windshield, but that's okay. I mean, you can barely notice. You guys can barely notice. I see it. But come on, Dynam. Y'all are better than this. I mean, look, after the PT-17, I am going to give Dynam very little slack from now on. Even on their older planes, you know, it's like, I know y'all have the talent to do good airplanes. So, you know, anytime you make like big mistakes, I'm gonna call you out. You know, paint overspray on the windshields, that ain't gonna cut it no more, fellas. Y'all gotta do better than this. I know you can. That PT-17 is sharp. That's a great airplane. So don't tell us, you know, like, oh, you know, it costs too much in production. BS. It does not. It doesn't cost too much. Y'all are doing it. Y'all are making good things happen. And I don't want y'all to, you know, like Dynam, to take a step back and get complacent with some of these older airframes. You know, they've proven that they can do good stuff, but now they gotta step it up across the board. You know, don't build these old ones crappy just because that's how they've always been. And there's our tip tanks right there for whoever was asking. I think that was Wild Bill asking if we had wing tips. That's them right there. Guniac, this is Dynam. This is another Dynam airplane. All right, and Dynam doo-doo. Ah, come on now. That's a little bit harsh, but I won't say they don't deserve it sometimes. I mean, look, we all know, like a lot of companies, like if you've got a bad reputation, there might be a good reason for it. And if you're going to redeem yourself, you can't do like a half a redemption story. You got to do a full-on redemption story. But everything else about this thing actually looks really good. I love the color scheme. I hate that there's overspray on the windshield. But the color scheme is awesome. I would love the decals if I even knew what the new set of decals was even supposed to look like. For now, it's anybody's guess. And that's okay. I think that is what's going to make this build fun. Boom. All right. So let's go grab an airplane stand. Robot. Look at this little bitty thing. Look at that. It's got a little single ventral fin on the bottom. I do like the model. I don't care what anybody says. It looks good. Where the heck is the battery hatch? It's like the... Oh, it's a bottom feeder. Dude, does the battery... So the battery goes in at like an angle. So instead of being like flat, you know, like this, the battery goes in at an angle, like, you know, in line with the, you know, with the, like the C pillar or the A pillar on the canopy, which is kind of odd, you know. But the battery, you know, I can kind of see the top of like the little lip of the battery tray right there. It kind of goes up like this, which is a little bit odd. That's a little bit weird, but hey, man, it's all good. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing, you know, just off of my first glance, is we do have a little bit of paint overspray on the control rods, you know. So Dynam, you know, will put like your elevator and rudder servos right here, and the rudder servo has another control rod that runs up front to the nose wheel steering, and there's some overspray on those, and you've also got that tube that runs through the body like a guide tube that those go in, and that overspray may make it where that control rod is bound up a little bit. But we're going to be taking a look at all of that once we get all the electronics and stuff hooked up, because that seems, I mean, it seems a little odd that they would go that direction. But you know, again, I'm not here to smash it. I'm here to check it out, to observe, to just let y'all know what's going on, because it's what I do. Now, one of the things that I'm kind of curious about is because of the way that this thing mounts in here, how I'm like trying to determine where am I going to mount the receiver, and you know, you're kind of almost forced into mounting the receiver on the wing, you know. And as you drop the wing in, there's like a little slot right here that the receiver would have to be in as the wing goes in, because there's not really any way unless you just pull that piece of plastic off to get in via the top anywhere. So it looks like, you know, everything gets kind of loaded in from the bottom. So we're gonna have to pull, you know, all the wires out for our front retract and our elevator and rudder servos, pull all those down and route them down here. And as we install the wing, just let all that stuff go back up in there, and have the receiver, and if we want to mount like a stabilizer, all of that would go right in the center line here. So a little bit funky, but we can make it work. You know, I do see a little pocket right here, and that pocket may be where the factory receiver goes in. Oh, Paul McNeil, there is no doubt. There is no doubt. You know, I'm talking a little bit of smack on Dynam, and it's something that I do with like every single one of them that I open up. You know, but the honest truth is, every Dynam that has come out over the past, you know, 6 months or so, they just keep getting progressively better and better. You know, starting with that PT-17, and then we saw it again with the Hawker Hunter. You know, this is kind of a rehash of an older Dynam model, but you know, this one's looking really good so far. I mean, it really is a good looking airplane. You know, I'm not going to do like the whole build, on it, but I think it is a good looking airplane. It is a twin. I think this is going to have much better performance than the C-47. We do have our flaps. We do have our aileron. You know, it's a full 6-channel setup. I mean, the deuces, everything looks better with Amy standing next to it. Even me. Yep, and you know, some of this stuff so I'm trying to loosen up. They just took the LED wire and kind of wrapped it around. I'm trying to get it loosened up a little bit so we can, you know, get that LED off of there. It does look like it's got a good complement of lights on it. We definitely have a beacon light on the top of the tail here. And let me see where all the other lights are hanging out. So we do have, we've got navigation lights on the tip tanks. It looks like our elevators are already, you know, kind of glued in and linked up, but moving well with each other, so that's good. And like I was saying, we also have the navigation lights on the wing tips, on the tip tanks. Yeah, so far, you know, all of just kind of the fit tests seem to be, you know, passing muster. Let's see where this little guy will pass through. Is that supposed to go? How are we supposed to route this guy into the front? I think I see it. I think I see the slot. Yeah, that's definitely one of them pull wire things. Maybe not. Maybe it goes in easy enough that I don't need. That's amazing. Oh, that's not true. I'm definitely gonna need the go get 'em wire. Crappy. Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, trying to pass the LED wire into the fuselage. But, you know, heck, while we're here, we may as well give it a shot. So I'm going to try to go in, let's see. Look at that, the go-get-em wire is through to the other side. That was amazing. That was pure luck. So now we got to get the LED wire passed through this little bitty slot. I think with that, I'm going to be able to get it. I think I'm going to be able to do it. So on this thing, what I'm doing right now, and y'all can't see it, and I apologize. I should have had a camera over here, but what's going on with this is there's a rear firewall, and they've got an LED wire on this horizontal stab for the beacon that I'm trying to get passed through this rear firewall through the same slot where they have there it is. We got it. Anyway, you're pulling that through the same slot where the control rod goes for the rudder, I believe. Yeah. So this is a rudder control rod. And that is really a pain in the butt. But now that we got that pulled through, that's probably the hardest part of the whole build. I say that now, man. Every time I do one of these builds, I get through like this part that seems difficult, and I'm like, man, that's got to be the hardest part of the build. And then I end up like farting around for like an hour with, you know, freaking screws in the wing or something. right, so let me get all this tape off of here. All right, so there's our LED cable. I don't know if y'all can see that hanging down right there, but we got it through. We got it. All right, so yep, so this needs to go up and over. Interesting. There it is. All right, so that is the tail wheel on. So I may have to print some of my own graphics, maybe do some black letters, you know, make up a tail number on the side. Because, I mean, who knows? And if Bobby's still in here, I mean, I don't know. I think the one that they have at BitGo still has the blue graphics as well. So, nah, it can't be. It's fine, man. It's just foam squeaking together. So, let me tell you how Bobby had it built. Let me go ahead and slap this wing on. And that's the extent that Bobby did. Boom. Built. It's a really good looking airplane. I really like the looks of it. They've also got like nice little covers over the servos, which, I mean, in some respects it makes the servos less serviceable. In others, it makes them more presentable, you know, and gives the servo linkage less to snag on. I don't know if y'all can see that little cover right there. That is covering up like the aileron servo horn. So it's not going to get snagged on anything. The other thing that's pretty nice is they give you these little quick adjust collars that the control rod goes through. So if you want to adjust your control surfaces, you just loosen that up instead of having to like take off a ball joint or whatever and move things around. Those collars, you just like undo the grub screw in them and you can move that around, you know, get it mechanically centered, put some Loctite on it, tighten it back up, and they actually offer you know, a really good control linkage as long as you make sure that that grub screw is tightened up. Joe Pellegrino, thank you, sir, for upgrading your RC Air Marshal YouTube channel membership. All right. It does not have Fowler flaps. They are standard, you know, foam hinge flaps. Now they do have a lower, so let me see if I can get one of them extended here. So they're kind of Fowler-like, you know, but not a true Fowler flap. So they do have like the hinge, which is extended or raised up. So as it raises, it does come out a little bit, and all of the control rod is like internal, but it's not a true Fowler system. You know, it's just a single hinge. It doesn't like come in and out at the same time. Like a Fowler flap is a completely different kind of system, but it does do a good job of kind of replicating that movement without it being so complex. All right. So now I'm just going to kind of sit this thing off to the side a little bit, and we're just going to spend the rest of the night chatting it up, fellas. Like, what do folks want to talk about? I mean, now's a good time to ask any questions about the airplane. I'm going to finish the build later on. You know, I mean, this is a pretty old airframe, so I'm not going to bother doing like a big, you know, big expose build video on this thing. I am going to make, you know, a video to kind of point out where I had, you know, some difficult times, but that's it. I'm not going to do a big, long, you know, build video on it. Wild Bill, I have flown the Husky. Unfortunately, when I flew the Husky, had a great flight and a not so great landing. So my landing, my Lanta, the landing wasn't so awesome, but it lived. The plane survived, so I've got the prop replaced. That's all I broke on the plane was the propeller. I have Mr. Untitled RC. Thank you very much for upgrading your channel membership as well. You guys are fantastic. All right, we got a question about F-18s here. So the Husky, I broke the propeller. It's already been replaced. I now have the new ESC in it. I've got much better throttle response on the low end, although I don't know that would have helped in the situation that I was in when I crashed it. And it wasn't really a crash, it's just a bad landing. So KBRC asks, would I recommend the E-Flight Blue Angels 80mm or the Freewing 90mm Blue Angel? I mean, that's not really a fair question, dude. So, at Wreck-'em Roy's, I only did one landing, and the landing was fine right up until it flipped over and had a prop strike, and the prop almost freaking whacked me right in the face. I've got some really good video footage of it, and I should put it on the channel, but, you know, that stuff's kind of embarrassing. I don't care. Y'all will probably love it. So both of the F-18s that you see behind me are Freewing F-18s. And, you know, I'm going to get very opinionated here for a second, and I know that people won't mind because it's what I do every now and then. I throw my opinion out there, and sometimes it's gold, sometimes it's not worth crap. Y'all know how opinions are, you know. Everyone's got them, and they all smell like crap. So, my opinion on the F-18, even with the scale landing gear and all that stuff, I think that the E-Flight F-18 Blue Angel, specifically the Blue Angel, doesn't meet my standards of what I would want a Blue Angel to be. There's a lot of work that I have to do on that plane to make it the way that I expect a Blue Angel to be. I don't want my Blue Angel with ordnance on it. So the E-Flight Blue Angel has ordnance molded into the wingtip rail and also molded into the fuselage, you know, weapon stow. So I don't want that on a Blue Angel. Blue Angels don't fly with ordnance. You know, some people say that they fly with drop tanks. I don't even know how true that is because I have seen the Blue Angels fly into Hawaii, which is one of the longest flights that they take, period. And they did not have drop tanks on when they showed up to Hawaii. So, you know, maybe they do fly with drop tanks every now and then and I just completely missed it, but I've never seen it personally. I have absolutely never seen the Blue Angel fly with ordnance. So I think that the E-flite Blue Angel is bollocks because of that. Now, does the E-flite Blue Angel fly good? Arguably, yeah. It flies really good. You know, and some would say that the AR636, you know, receiver that they've got in there, they've got it tuned well, and you know, a bind and fly F-18 is going to give you a better flight experience out of the box than a plug and play Freewing F-18. But the plug and play Freewing F-18 is so well behaved. I mean, if you treat it right and you fly it, you know, not like a freaking maniac, they're both going to fly fantastic. I think the high performance Freewing F-18, at least to me, is a no-brainer when you're looking at the Blue Angels. And yeah, I've got, you know, an affiliate partnership with Horizon Hobby, so it doesn't benefit me to tell you that the Freewing is the better option, but honestly, that's what I would go with. I'd go with the Freewing F-18 over the E-flite. Yeah, Rajka, the Freewing is going to be much better off a grass runway. In fact, I would say that the Freewing is better off of any runway because of the choices that E-flite made when they decided to go with like a really scale articulating landing gear on their F-18. So there's some interesting dynamics that go on with the center of gravity and how it shifts based well, not necessarily the center of gravity shifting. The center of gravity does not change, right? But how much lift it takes to get the center of gravity up in the air based on a pivot point being, you know, like the fulcrum that the front of the plane is going to lift up on. So if the main gear is, say, here, and then, you know, and your front gear is here, how much force does it take to get that plane to rotate? And if we shift that pivot point back 3 to 4 inches, you know, because that's basically what's happening with that landing gear. Now it's back 3 to 4 inches, and rather than pivoting on the CG is now forward of the rotation point. So I've got to lift a lot more mass. It's a lot more work, you know, for the motors to get the, you know, or for just this the lift of the airplane to get that E-flite up in the air. So the E-flite needs a lot more runway, just inherently by design. It needs more runway to get the plane up in the air, to generate enough lift to lift that CG up with the rotation point being 3 to 4 inches back of the CG instead of being able to rotate right on the CG. So, you know, design props to Alpha and the guys at Freewing for making the F-18, the Freewing F-18, a little easier to take off by not going with a scale landing gear. Mike Baird, hello, sir. That may be what it is, Fred Barron. I think it's called the fulcrum, the pivot point of a lever. Beanie, Tennessee, what is up? JT83, I don't know about all that. So the Freewing, now I'll tell you, since the Freewing F18 is now the high performance version, I would probably agree with that. You know, if they expect the E-Flite F18 to keep up with the Freewing 90mm high performance F18, that's a tough ask right there. The E-Flite F18 performs well. It's admirable. You know, I mean, it moves. It's a fast plane. It doesn't disappoint in the speed department. The Freewing F18, even with the Outrunner, was a plane that performed as well with the Outrunner as the E-Flite performed stock. Now that they have the high performance version of the F18, that plane freaking rocks. I mean, it's badass. So if you're talking kind of apples to apples, the original power systems in both of them, I'd say they have comparable performance. You know, the 90 versus the 80. With the high performance 90, it's no contest. The 90 outperforms the 80 all day. BD Tennessee, you make a good point. So, right, so whatever I had on Friday, that is a fantastic gummy bear. It did me right. I felt good. Hamilton Hager, nice. Did you get some balsa action? Yeah, Shay, I think that may have been what I got a hold of, was some medical gummies. So, KBRC, I will do that. Give me just a second. Alright, so what I have here is a roll of what is called Mason's line, I believe. Mason line, masonry line. It's what bricklayers use to kind of rope off the boundaries of where they're going to be laying brick, you know, to make sure all the bricks are in a straight line. So they'll pull this and they'll pull it tight, tight, tight. You know, to make sure that it stays in a straight line. Like, I mean, you could play a note on it, like ding, 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 ding. They pull it tight, so it doesn't move around. I think it's called masonry line or Mason's line, something like that. You can find it at Home Depot, and it comes on a roll that looks just like this. Wrapped in plastic. I've used, I mean, it comes with a lot, and it's not super expensive. I think this was a few dollars, maybe $4 or $5 for this roll, and I've hung up a lot of planes using this stuff, and I've still got a ton of it. All right. So what I do with it is I cut off a section about yay long. You know, let's call it 24 inches. Now, it's going to depend on, like, how far the landing gear are spread out, you know, how far back it needs to go to be able to hang. So I look for, you know, like an A shape, you know, not like a huge, what do they call that? Like a, I don't know, a squatty triangle, not an isosceles triangle. Wait, is it isosceles? No, that is, what do they call it when the top is much taller than the base? Anyway, we're not going to talk about all that. Yes, so it's Mason's twine. All right, so I take a piece of that Mason's twine, which we got right here, and ding, 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 ding. Strong stuff, right? You're not going to break this unless you get it wet. And then, you know, if you get it wet and you keep it in the water forever, it will degrade. But in a dry environment, it's fine. So what I do is I create a couple of loops in the end of it. We got those loops right there, right? Can you see that? The loop? And it doesn't have to be like a lasso. You actually want it to be an open loop, not a closed loop. You don't want it to slip. And I put one on either side. And then what I do is I take that Mason's line and I run it up inside that loop, just like this. So now I have like a little slip thing, you know, like a lasso almost. And I'll put that around the wheel and around the strut. You know, so if this was the strut, I'd put it on there just like that, and then I'd pull it tight up against the strut. So now the line has the strut, and the strut is just hanging. And then I'll tie this into the other strut. So now I've got both struts just hanging. Right, so we're just going to pretend like we're doing this. Alright, so I put this one around the other strut. So now I've got both struts hanging. And then I'll use a picture hook that you can buy at Home Depot. Go get like the 12 to 20 pound picture hooks, probably the 20 pound picture hooks. They have like a little nail and they look like a little hook that goes in the wall with a nail. You just drive that nail right to the drywall and put this on the picture hook and it just hangs there. Now, you know, depending on whether it's a tail dragger, the tail draggers like to be hung with the nose facing up. These types of airplanes with the tricycle landing gears like to be hung with the nose facing down. So, yeah, just general rule of thumb. Tricycle landing gear, nose hang down. Tail dragger, put the nose up. Make a couple of loops on the end of the string onto both of the main struts. Leave yourself enough wire or enough string where you can get like a nice little, you know, triangle shape, and then hang that from the loop or from the hook on the wall, and it will absolutely support the weight, no problem. Deuces, that's a terrible idea. Jeff, I've already run out of wall space, and I am now building an airplane rack because I've run out of wall space. Hey, speaking of wall space, did y'all notice that I now have all, you know, military jets around me? I have the F-16 has taken its spot on warplane row. You know, some of the baddest jets in service today. We got the F-16, the F-18, the F-15, and the mighty F-22. I think the only thing we're really missing is maybe the F-35. So I was pretty excited to get the F-16 hung up here. The Avanti that was here before is going to be going on the rack that I'm building. Which, by the way, you know, 6 tiers, and all 6 spots are already taken up. So the rack I built is already full, which is bull crap. Shay Hamilton, yes, that is what I hang my airplanes with. That's what all of these are hanging with, is some Mason's line. Mason's twine. You wrap it around, you know, set up a little slip loop on either end, put it on there, slip that tight around the main landing gear, and then, you know, you want that side around the other landing gear, you know, so let's call that our 2 landing gear, and then you hang it just like that from a picture hook. Works great, lasts a long time. And like a 20-pound picture hook works fine. Some people are saying command hooks, don't trust them. I wouldn't trust a command hook. The adhesive, I mean, look, that's just sticky stuff. You're praying for a chemical reaction to hold your airplane on the wall, or you can put a physical hole in the wall, put a nail through it, and get a 20-pound, guaranteed 20 pounds, you know, that you can hang from that hook. I mean, those command hooks, I mean, would y'all hang your baby from a command hook? I wouldn't, but I would hang my baby from a picture hanger. Yeah, this is the Dynam Grand Cruiser. For those of y'all that, I mean, I'm gonna have, you know, some videos on the channel here soon. We just kind of slapped the tail and the, you know, the vertical horizontal stabs on, and threw the wings in place. For those of you that are joining us a little late and didn't see it earlier, I'll go ahead and hold it up for you. But the wings are not bolted in right now, but that's what this guy looks like. I think that's a fantastic looking airplane. It is a twin. It does have counter rotating props. I mean, this looks good. It does have retracts on the bottom. As you can see there, you've got your retracts here, and another one on the bottom, another one up front. You know, tricycle configuration retracts. Counter rotating props, I probably said that already. A couple of Outrunner brushless motors. Spinning this thing. It is a new, you know, red and silver configuration, although the decal set that you get for it right now today, if you were to buy this, is the blue and white decals. Doesn't make a lot of sense. You also get the tip tanks, which we do have here. So that's not the right one, but you know, that's one of the tip tanks and how it would go, you know, if we had them installed. So it does have tip tanks. You've got navigation lights on those tip tanks. And you've also got another navigation beacon LED at the top of the vertical stabilizer. So it does have, you know, some good LEDs. It's got those tip tanks. It's got a lot of nice, scale features. It's got retracts. You've got flaps, ailerons, elevator rudder, full 6-pack of controls. One of the kind of negatives is it is a bottom feeding battery tray. So you've got your battery hatch like right here, and it's just a small little battery hatch. That didn't sound good, but it's not broken. You got a small little battery hatch right there, and the battery goes at an angle inside here. So the battery sits at an angle like this, so it inserts from the bottom at an angle towards the back and kind of rests like this inside the airplane as you're flying. So you really don't have a lot of options as far as, what size battery you fly. I mean, it looks like a 3S 2200, maybe a 2500 is going to be about as fat a battery as you're going to get in there. You could probably jam a 4S in there if you wanted to, but I don't think that a 4S, I think you'd be turning those props a little too fast on a 4S. That's just my opinion. All right. Yeah, Boss 223, I don't know what to tell you about the NX8. I know that they went on pre-order at the same time that the NX10 did. And all of us that ordered our NX10, I mean, we've already got them. So, just keep checking back, man. I mean, I don't work for Spectrum, y'all know that. And I have no idea when they're coming. I hope they come soon. But, I mean, at some point, do you get tired of waiting? I don't know if the NX10 is sold out yet, but do you get tired of waiting and say, look, the NX10's in stock now. Cancel my pre-order on the NX8 and send me the 10. I mean, you've been waiting so long. Throw another $100 down and get you an NX10. Gary, yes, I'll tell you what, that'd be awesome. I would not pass it up if that opportunity were presented to me. But I also live in Atlanta. So, I don't plan on moving up to Illinois. So if they wanted to, if that ever became a possibility, it would have to be a remote opportunity and it would have to pay as much or better than my job pays now. BD Tennessee, what is the USB-C for on the NX10? Nothing. Because those dingbats decided to go with micro USB instead of USB-C. I don't understand that design decision. I absolutely would have gone with USB-C. It doesn't make any sense to go with micro USB in 2021 on any new item, but that's what they decided to do. But the USB port is for a couple different things, right? So 3 different things you can do through that USB port. Number 1, you can charge your radio through the USB port. You can connect the transmitter to your computer and use it. When you plug it into the computer, it will see the computer as an external hard drive where you have direct access to the internal storage of the transmitter, which is also very cool. And we can load in things like sound files and things like that direct from the computer instead of having to transfer them first to a USB card and then put the USB card in the transmitter. You know, we're eliminating a step by being able to take that USB cable, plugging it right into the NX series radio, whether that's a 6, 8, or 10, and having the radio recognize it as a USB drive, or the PC recognize it as a USB drive. That's really cool. And the third thing is we can now utilize our NX series radio as a Windows-based game controller, right? So as a joystick. So if you want to use your NX8, NX6, NX10 as a game controller, plug the USB in. You have to go down to your USB options and turn it to game controller mode. At that point, you can actually turn your radio off. I believe when you plug it in game controller mode, it will turn off all of its transmitting capability and put it in joystick mode where it doesn't need to be powered up. Although I could be wrong on that. I need to go try it out again. KBRC, you bet, buddy. Dana, that is a big negative. In fact, because it's Dynam, I might leave that overspray on the window just as a tribute to their, you know, awesome craftsmanship. Hey guys, be careful with the, you know, the like open announcements of, hey, I subbed to you, will you sub for me? Let's sub together and whatever. That type of behavior is frowned upon by YouTube and could get my channel in trouble. It could get both of y'all's channels in trouble. Anybody, you know, like if I'm going to shout out another channel, that's a completely different thing. But yeah, for people to be like, hey, I'll give you a sub if you give me a sub, that's kind of a big no-no in YouTube land. So, you know, I don't care that y'all sub to each other's channels. In fact, I encourage everybody to sub to each other's channels, especially if we're all putting out good content. But, you know, just kind of be careful how you word that acknowledgement that you just subscribe to somebody's channel in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Mike Brewer, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. I mean, nobody that did it, don't worry. You know, if we get in trouble, we get in trouble. I don't think anybody will. You know, it's just one of those, like, YouTube codes of conduct thing that's like, you know, it's in the unwritten rules that nobody reads in the fine print of the user license agreement that you agree to when you sign up for a YouTube account. Or actually, you probably just hit a box that says, I accept all the terms and conditions. And then it says, if you want to read the terms and conditions, click here. And like one person out of 100,000 people actually clicks there and reads it. You know, no one knows the rule exists because no one reads those stupid terms and conditions. But apparently that's one of them. So, you know, just be careful. Hamilton Hanger, have a good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, guys, don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. BD Tennessee, you can absolutely use your NX radio as the in-game transmitter for Real Flight 9.5. You can also use it for liftoff. You can use it for wings. You can use it for a lot of different simulators. Shit. You can use it as the flight controller for I'm Not Frozen, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and X-Plane, and DCS, if you're so inclined. Like, do you want to fly DCS with an RC transmitter? Now's your opportunity. Xbox on an NX10. You know, you can play Xbox through your PC now. I think it'll only work as a PC game controller, not an Xbox game controller. But that's an interesting thought. Although that would be insane-o. Like, you would absolutely get smashed if you tried to play anything other than like airplane games using a flight controller type, you know, handheld transmitter. Like, if you tried to play Call of Duty with this thing, like, you get hammered. You know, like, if this is your trigger, I mean, you ain't gonna make it, dude. You're gonna get raffle stomped. So, Dennis, I don't know that it, as long as it's in that like 1250 to 1400 wingspan, I mean, I really don't care if it's Dynam or not. You know, I think that it'd be funny if they were all Dynam planes, because I think that's where the real challenge comes from, is getting everybody on a Dynam plane. You know, kind of levels the playing field. But, you know, if people want to go and spend more money, I think the Dynam planes are kind of fun because they're cheap, and, you know, we can mod them up and make them insane-o fast, and if we wreck them, who cares? Go recover your electronics and start over. Hey, by the way, for those of you guys that are not, that weren't here at the beginning of the show, earlier in the show, I did do a shout out for somebody who I've got a lot of respect for that runs a YouTube channel. It is a YouTube channel named RC Video Reviews. So if you head over to RC Video Reviews, is that right? RC, it's not RC Video. Is it RC Video Reviews? Crap. What is the name? I done forgot it. I have done forgot. It is RC Video Reviews. All right. So head over to the RC Video Reviews YouTube channel. No, not RC Plane Reviewer. RC Video Reviews. He is a guy that does the same way that I do a lot of the Spectrum videos. So like the AR636, AR637. You know, I'm about to start like flooding the internet with NX series videos, all the smart stuff, whatever. I do a lot of stuff, you know, promoting the Spectrum technology and kind of showing it off a little bit. This guy does the same thing for OpenTX and has been for years. You know, easily one of the better authorities of information for OpenTX stuff, especially when it comes to setting up OpenTX for fixed wing pilots. RC Video Reviews makes fantastic OpenTX tutorials and does some great work with Radiomaster and the TX16S. So if you're thinking about getting one of these TX16Ss, go first to rcairmarshal.com, click on the Banggood link, and get you a TX16S. And then once your TX16S comes in, head over to RC Video Reviews and check the guy out because he's got some amazing tutorial videos on OpenTX. Now, with all that in mind, the reason I want y'all to go to check him out is because he's less than 50 subs away from hitting 10K. And I would love to be able to help him get up to 10K tonight. That'd be awesome. So I'm not sure where he's sitting right now, but we're just going to keep on pushing RC Video Reviews past that 10K point because he absolutely deserves it. He's got some just excellent tutorials out there. And, you know, he's a super nice guy, super knowledgeable. He will bend over backwards to help you out no matter what the question is. You know, he makes himself available on Discord. You know, you can send him emails. He responds to every comment. The guy is, he's Dr. OpenTX. He's awesome. He really is a great guy. But Kenny, it's not spelled hang ER51. That's not how it's spelled. Like, you spelled it wrong. BD Tennessee, the guy is awesome, and he's absolutely worth the watch. He does more than just OpenTX stuff. He also does a lot of stuff with like iNav, long-range FPV. The guy's just a wealth of knowledge on long-range fixed-wing FPV flight. I mean, head on over there. RC Video Reviews, sub to the channel. Let's help him get over that 10K hump. You know, and if you enter his, if you go over there and sub and enter his giveaway, he's giving away a lot of stuff for that 10K milestone. So thank you, fellas. Thank you, fellas. Yeah, lots of motor and prop testing. The guy's great. Barry Campbell's got it right. It's hang AR. Not hang ER. Hang ER is what you perform abortions with. Wait, shh. YouTube, I didn't mean that. Don't demonetize my video stream. Hey, don't forget to check the links in the description and head to rcairmarshal.com where you will find links to all of the companies that I have affiliate partnerships with, like Horizon Hobby and BitGo Hobby and Banggood and Amazon. And you can also find links to my merch store at Teespring. And if you really are feeling saucy that day, there is a PayPal link at the bottom of rcairmarshal.com, and you can click on that and throw us a bone or two. Rajka was looking for that. You all can thank Rajka for me, you know, spilling it about my links. Oh, Joe Pellegrino, RC Video Reviews, by far. I mean, leaps and bounds better than any other OpenTX tutorials I've seen. Like, if you can't learn what you need to know about OpenTX from RC Video Reviews, what I would do is try to hit him up during one of his live streams, because he does live streams every Friday. Hit him up during one of his live streams and be like, hey man, you know, like Dave from RC Air Marshal told me I could find you and you could answer anything about OpenTX. And what I like about John is he doesn't back down from a challenge. You know, he's kind of like me. He's stubborn like that. Like, we think that if we can't do it, Ken Sprouse, that's awesome, man. Thanks. I'm one of those people that, like, if it's never been done before and people say it can't be done, I'm gonna try to make it happen. You know, almost anything can be done if you put your mind to it, right? And you figure it out, right? So John is that kind of guy. So, you know, for everybody that likes the stuff that I do with Spectrum, if you're thinking of dabbling in OpenTX, absolutely, go check out RC Video Reviews, sub to his channel, help him get over 10K, and man, you know, you're gonna learn something over there. The guy is really sharp when it comes to OpenTX. Roach Coach, nice. All right, guys. So it is getting close to quitting time. It is 9:56. And I know we started a little bit late today, but I wanted to do a quick recap of all of the fun stuff that we had on the show today. We've had the Dynam Grand Cruiser. So we're gonna put the Grand Cruiser back on the stand here. But we're gonna take the wing off. Sorry guys. And just put it back on the stand just like that. Because the wing is not secured by anything and it'll just fall off. And for those of you that were here in the very beginning of the show, we're gonna bring back our special guest. And that is the Redcat Gen8v2 crawler. Brian Chambers, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. So, we've got the Redcat Gen8v2 that we showed today, which is just an awesome big 10th scale crawler. I mean, this thing is almost unstoppable. Dana's RC, thank you. Everybody, thank you so much. Yeah, Roach Coach, dude, this thing is definitely green. This thing would almost look sweet with a Roach Coach Heli sticker on it. Yes. So we've got the Redcat Gen8 V2 1/10 scale crawler, International Scout V2 body. It looks awesome. This thing can just crawl over anything. We're going to have some cool upgrades for this on some videos coming up on the channel to kind of curb some of the, you know, some of the twitchiness in the throttle response, as well as make the body easier to get on and off. We're going to be doing a couple of short videos on how to take care of those issues, you know, doing common upgrades that most people probably already have the parts to do if you're into surface RC. And we showed off the Cessna, well, I call it the Cessna, right? The Dynam Grand Cruiser. Both of these models are available and were provided for review by our good friends at Big Go Hobby. So as I've been, you know, kind of jokingly throwing around, if you guys want to support our good friends at Big O Hobby, you know, so if you want to pick yourself up one of these Redcats and give surface a try, I highly recommend it, man. This is a load of fun. You can do it any day. JCB67, this does have portal axles. It is it's a super great deal. This thing is, this is $299. It does have portal axles. I don't know if you can see them. It's also got all steel gears throughout the drivetrain. I mean, this thing is a beast. Awesome. It's an awesome, awesome truck. It's available in green and it's available in purple. Both of the colors look fantastic. I know the green looks crazy on camera, but I promise you it looks amazing in person. These are fantastic. For 299 bucks, to me, it's one of the most solid deals in Surface RC. You get a huge amount of bang for your buck based on what you're getting. You're getting a big 550 brushed motor. You're getting all Hobbywing electronics. So Hobbywing ESC, a 25 kilogram servo, steel gears throughout. It can run on 2 or 3S LiPo packs. It comes with the transmitter, comes with the receiver. All you need to get this thing running is your LiPo pack and 4 AA batteries, and you are hitting the trails. It is fast, so be warned. One of the first upgrades that we're going to be doing is swapping out the ESC with a Spectrum Firma 40 amp ESC and receiver combo that's going to give us much better linear or much better control.
Playing from down to 02.
Sorry guys. It's going to give us much better control over the throttle response, especially on the center of the triggers, because it's very touchy using the stock equipment. So, and there's tons and tons and tons of upgrade parts for these things. I am excited to start checking them out, changing out the wheels, changing out the, that speed control in ESC, adding magnets to the body instead of the Velcro. I mean, there's so much stuff that can be done on this thing. It's unreal. And we can take this thing and have it where it is performing in line for a fraction of the cost. Well, not a fraction, but for about 20% off of what you would pay for an SCX 10.3, which is kind of the king of the crawlers right now, the Axial SCX 10.3. I think this thing has the capability of being absolutely just as good, if not better, in a lot of respects than the SCX 10.3 and at $299 base with a couple of quick upgrades, we can have this thing performing just as well. So, but we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel, and we're going to have lots of videos on this thing here in the very near future. All right, Roach Coach, have a good night tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And guys, one of the other things that I really like about the Redcat Gen8v2, it's 10:03, so we'll be off here in just a moment. One of the things that I really like about this, it's not a damn Jeep. I'm tired of people making crawlers and everybody thinking they're like a rock crawler by today's standards. Like, if it's not a Jeep, no one's going to buy it. Man, bullcrap. I love that this thing is an International Scout too. I think Jeeps are like a bunch of garbage compared to the way these trucks used to be built. Especially like modern day Jeeps, man. You get like a modern day, whatever the heck the Jeeps are called, man, they do not hold up like these things did. I'll take an old Ford Bronco, big Chevy full-size CK Blazer, Dodge Ram Charger, International Scout. Give me one of them big old full-bodied trucks any day of the week. Over a Jeep or something. Man, they're just not any good. So I was so happy to see, like the TRX4 and the Redcat Gen8, do something other than Jeeps for their crawlers, man. I like the Axial crawler, it's fantastic, but I just don't like Jeeps. I mean, Jeeps are great for going and picking up groceries. But those things are not built to be, I mean, you got to throw so much money into them, where these things were just like tough as nails off the showroom floor. Anyway, guys, I'm going to see you guys later. If you want to check out either the Redcat Gen8v2 or the Dynam Grand Cruiser in the new silver and red color, both are available today at BitGo Hobby. Head to rcairmarshal.com, click on the BitGo link. You can find both of these fantastic models. They are in stock now. The Redcat Gen8v2, $299. The Dynam Grand Cruiser is $199. But they're going fast. They're not going to last forever. So go grab one of these today. Help out RC Air Marshal. Help out BitGo Hobby. Those guys are fantastic. And that's what I got. So as long as there are no any question, as long as there's no further questions, we're going to go ahead and cut it off. Make sure you tune into Gooniac here in 10 minutes over at the Gooniac 33 Fiery Booty YouTube channel. He's going to be going live at 10:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 Pacific. Thank all you people for coming by tonight. And we will see you all next Monday, if not sooner. I believe that myself and Bobby K might have something up our sleeves this Saturday. So stay tuned. You might see us this Saturday taking Ryan's spot in the RC Pilots Lounge. We're kicking out the King Rat and we're taking it over. It's going to be a fun night, guys. We might even set up a Zoom session for the RC Pilots Lounge this Saturday and make it a big community hangout. Anyway, y'all all have a good night. We will see you next week.